How's it going, everybody? As you can see, I have moved to a new place. This is, you call it my lab. We're working on the microwave time travel situation back there. No specific updates yet, but, you know, working on it. So, yeah, this is a new place, and just working on getting the setup going well, and, yeah, you don't care. You care about Steins Gate, and this is episode 4. Last time, we heard the name Steins Gate for the first time. John Titor said he wants to meet Okabe at some point. Makise Kurisu freaked out and ran out with the time travel thing. I don't know how soon she'll be back. I'm sure her curiosity will get the better of her. And we'll just see what happens. Daru hacked into CERN, found out somebody died in the testing of their Hadron Collider with their little black holes, which they said were a failure, but actually weren't. And yeah, we're going to watch it. The discussion is linked in the time code. There's a link to the time code in the description if you want to skip to the discussion. And also in the description is a link to the Patreon if you want to get these videos a week early. So that's about it. Let's go ahead and watch. 3, 2, 1, play. Episode 4. Let's see what's up. Human is dead. Just one person, or... That's what it would seem to imply. Jellyman. Yeah, the good question. I was like, am I supposed to know what that is? Even he doesn't. Can you figure it out? I don't know. Oh, that's me. I'm like that at all times, even when I'm not looking into the death of a human. The shaking leg. They don't have access to everything, so I wonder what kind of stuff they might not be able to get to. So he doesn't know what this is. I feel like he'll figure it out eventually. Okay, I guess that's part of it then. This IBN that Moic has been looking for. And we can talk to John Titor. Well, okay. He's making the connections. But yeah, like I said, Kurisu probably come back. Maybe they'll go to her for something, but I don't know what. I feel like she's gotta... You can't see that happen and just be like, nope, nope, no, no, nope. No time travel. Like, you gotta be curious. We didn't get any Rukiko or Ferris, I don't think, last time. So I don't know what's up with them. We just had Moeka over the phone through her messages. And there was a little bit of Suzuha, where she kind of knew a bunch of information, where I'm like, hey, you're a time traveler. As if I wasn't already thinking that because of the corn. But, yeah. And we'll see if we actually meet John Titor in person. See what this show's representation of him is. I like this opening. It hasn't, like, gotten stuck in my head yet. Or, like, I spend time away from the show thinking, like, I like the Steins Gate opening. But every time I come back to it, I'm reminded, like, oh yeah, I like this opening. I'm always into it in the moment. So here we go. Enter... I literally, that was too small for me to even read with my horrible eyesight. He got a shirt with Ferris on it. Of course. Suzu-san? Already well acquainted. A little bit. A what? Oh, cool. Got her Oopas, you got some cards. Into these little collectible hobbies. Not a name. Part-timer. I'm shaking my leg right now. Relatable. I don't think anybody's hands were on her. Nai? Oh, daughter. Who? Okay. Who's his daughter? Have we met her? Nai? What are we looking at? Soaking in the sun? Of course you would. You shouldn't stare at that, but just a tip. I see. Maybe from when her parents died. You just can't see them. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean they're not there. There's Karisu. Is that... Is that a Serial Experiments Lane reference? I haven't seen it, but I've seen that image of her on the bed. That looked like that image, and I think that's what that was. That was a good image. I like the t-shirt look. It's not a t-shirt, but you know what I mean. But I think that was a reference to that. So anyway. Quadruple XL next. Shining Finger, Moeka. It's continually expanding. Are you going to meet him right now? Okay, so that's what that is. They need that old computer. Again, making me think Moeka is against CERN. If she wants it too. They need it to find out what CERN is doing. It's crazy to me that I've heard so often over the years the opinion that the show is really slow in the first few episodes. Because, like, we're already dealing with all this shit. There's already a lot happening. So I'm really excited to see what happens later. Apparently way more happens, and it gets way faster paced and just way better. It's like, how? Go to work, it's okay. Boy? I think he stayed up for quite a while, so give him his break. I know Human is dead, but let him rest. Human is tired. Hey. Oh, okay. Just a coincidental meeting? Or was she on her way there? Louse. Not a word you hear often. Might be cross, so that... I don't know if that's just the translation. Or if it's just part of the way he talks. Stop calling... I was just about to say, like... if you stop calling me Christina, the zombie. But, like, you gotta be more curious now, right? Of course. Likely. It does. But you never know. What? Okay. But instead of lying, what is it? That's more important. Do it. Yeah, you gotta be a little curious about that, right? Laundry? The washing machine is also a time machine. Again, we do have the spinning like a microwave. Just denying it. What's your alternate explanation? Don't you want to go test it some more? You are. You literally are. You're just gonna make a backstory? Probably is that's what happened, yeah. Struck by lightning and then you just don't like time machines. Well, theoretical, schmear-retical. Got her. Fucking nailed it. I should have been in that debate. You saw it happen. I see. Alright. Her dad was way into it. Maybe wasted away his life. Maybe embarrassed himself. Either way, it didn't work out. And she's like, nah, he was a fool. He wasted his time. It's not real. So, like, her numbers retired because she was that good. It's interesting having a time machine like a microwave rather than like a big one you can step into. And it works with people by connecting your phone to it. It's a neat idea. Yeah, he keeps messing up her clothes on the shoulders. There's so many things you should be curious about. So, yeah. I don't know if she's gonna go for this. Yeah. She did. She said, huh. Christina! Anything? Maybe? You gotta keep walking? It's just gonna weigh on your mind forever. $5,100. Well then. Does Ferris have a deeper connection to all this too? Or does she just happen to have seen this? Lady, the fate of the world is at stake here. What? My question exactly. Hi. Beat her at what? What? Is Daru here? What's happening? Good question. He's the sane one in this situation. What does that mean? The eyebrows not matching the hair bothers me greatly. And with the wig. But I like the Tutaru. It's cute. She's cute. Oh dear. So this is what we're doing? This is how we get it? It's also interesting, rather than having like a normal character who gets brought into all this and is like, I can't believe there's an evil organization trying to take over the world. He just like already believed that before he had a reason to. Also interesting. So like nothing has changed in his life. He already thought all this. Kaboom! Mm-hmm. So yes, Daru is there. Sure. What's happening? What? Well, she didn't... What? What? I don't know what just happened. What? Okay then, I guess. Sure, yeah. That works. Sure, okay. What a what a strategy. Technically, you're right, so yeah, that's it. When was that? She talking to somebody in America? She's curious. Kandagawa Laboratory? Okay. Plus, she's still at the laundromat. Or went back. Was that Rukako, maybe? Christina. Assistant. The zombie. Okay, I guess she'll see you there. Don't have to be that paranoid. I do like the antagonistic back and forth between the two of them. It's just that in the last episode, it was a little just too simple and repetitive. It was just like, hentai, hentai, hentai. You know, I like it when it's a little more varied. You're his assistant. You're number 4. Yeah, they really do go at it quite a lot. She's only 18? I think Okabe's only like 19, 20. Oh, well, also a boy. He'll probably tell her that. Yeah, he's like, I might not even tell her. No? I thought he might want to, like, just rub it in her face, just reveal it to her. It's like, I have information she doesn't. Okay, so somebody time traveled, possibly Okabe himself, to leave it here, to give to him one day. If you say so. The choice of the show? I mean, yes, technically, the show writers, they made the choice. We got it. By borrow, I mean, can I have it forever? I like the way he says Christina. Yeah, that's what it is. Still jiggling my leg, by the way. Mm-hmm. Curious to learn more details there. I get the general gist of it just from that line. But, you know, I want to know the extent of it. What? Man, they can really bicker about everything. And again, I like it more when it's stuff like this. When it's just like every scenario they get into, it's just a back and forth of insults. Oh, okay. That was a surprise. I didn't think it was going to end. That was sudden. Oh, I guess the episode's over, huh? Well, fuck me. Is there an after credit scene? Always gotta check. Nope. That is the end of episode 4. So let's discuss it. Alright, episode 4 of Steins Gate. Another good episode. I was so into it that by the time the credits started up at the end, I was incredibly surprised. Not just because I was into it and didn't expect it to end and feel like it should be ending, just the fact that it ended on the scene that it did. Just them bickering in the street, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's over. Alright. But not just that, but also I wanted it to keep going. I was like, damn, it's over already. I want to see more. Because, like I've talked about before, I have heard, like, one of the most common opinions about this show that I've heard over the years is that it has a slow start. And the first couple episodes are not that good, or at least not as good, or, you know, like, it takes a while to get moving. but like not only have I been into it from the beginning, just because I've been into the atmosphere and the characters and the intrigue and everything, but I don't even feel like it's really been slow. Episode 3, maybe? 3 was my least favorite of these first 4, but I still liked it. But 1, 2, and 4, I really never felt that at all. Like, in this episode, I was really thinking about that while he's talking about what's going on and what's at stake, and thinking about CERN, and while we don't have all the details of everything that's going on, there's clearly, like, a lot at play here with a lot of characters. And so I don't find it slow. I think it's really obvious that a lot more is being set up, and just from these opinions that I've heard, I'm so curious what it's going to be like in the future when it apparently becomes faster paced, or the story has more going on. It's like, what the hell is it going to be like in the later parts of the show? I can't wait to find out, because already I think it's really interesting and there's a lot going on. And I was also thinking about Okabe in this episode, and how, again, I've talked before how I really like him as a main character and all the reasons I think he works, but I also think it's fun how he basically, like, not much has changed for him. Like, usually you would have a main character who's just a normal person, and then they get wrapped into all this stuff. They get brought into this crazy stuff. They find out about time travel, find out about this evil organization. He already believed this. He already thought... I don't know how much of it is, like, legit, just him being a crazy person, but from what we can tell, he already thought there was some kind of organization out to get him and bent on world domination. So this is just like business as usual for him, kind of, which I think is interesting. Like, it's just validating him, which is fun. Also, the concept of the phone microwave. I was thinking about that too, and how you might think of a time machine as something someone can get in, but it's a cool idea to have it be something so small. It's like, how do people use it? Connect the phone, and they use it through the phone. I think that's kind of neat. So anyway, I was wondering how long it would take Karisu to get back into the story. I figured it would be pretty quick, because her curiosity would get the better of her. They seem to just end up running into each other coincidentally, but overall, yeah, there's a lot for her to be curious about, as much as she wants to deny it, because she's just firmly against the idea that time travel is possible. So she's like, no, couldn't have been what it is. I'm not going to accept that. And we find out a bit of the reason why, and that's because of her father. She doesn't really say much. She just says, I'm not going to repeat my father's failure. From that one line, basically tells you everything you need to know. We just don't know all the details. Presumably her father was somebody who believed time travel was possible, maybe spent his life trying to prove it, research it. Maybe he just never accomplished anything and was a failure. Maybe he, like, publicly embarrassed himself with something. I don't know all the details, but clearly she thinks he was in the wrong, that he made a mistake spending his life focused on this, and she's like, no, it's not real. Which is interesting, because you could see a plot like that going either way. You could see a character being like, no, I'm going to try to validate my father and prove that he was right all along, or them being, like, disenfranchised by it and being like, no, I'm not going to repeat that mistake, and that's the side that she's falling on. Or she was struck by lightning in Arkansas. Also a possibility, but it seems like it's related to her father. So we just don't know all the details, but because of that, she is totally in denial about most of this. But there's so much stacking on top of each other for her to be curious about that, like, she can't help it, which makes sense. I'm like, how? This stuff would just be eating away at you. You wouldn't be able to ever stop thinking about it, no matter how much you think this is not possible. So it's cool to see her back into it so quickly, and her interactions with Okabe are pretty great. I wasn't that into it in episode 3, because it was kind of just like, oh, pervert, pervert, pervert. It was kind of repetitive and samey. But when they have different things and different scenarios to argue about, it's actually really fun, because it's just all the time. It's like any scenario, any situation they're in, they will bicker. And it's actually kind of fun, listening to their back and forth, whether it's him grabbing her shoulder and keep messing up her coat, them at the end with how they're carrying it, calling her all these different names, like Christina and Assistant and Zombie, and she won't call him by Ho and Kiyoma and everything, and just, like, all the different scenarios where, like, every other line is them arguing. They'll be able to get out one line of whatever they need to say, but then that'll be followed up by a way that the other person is offended, or a way that Okabe feels that he's one-upped her or something. And when it's not just, oh, you're a pervert, no, you're a pervert, like like it was in episode 3. It's fun. I like how they're just arguing constantly. I don't know how long that'll be fun. I don't know how long that'll last. I don't know when they'll just be friends or more or whatever, but for now, it's fun throughout the episode. So yeah, this episode is about getting the IBN 5100, and we get it through a little bit of a wild goose chase. We have the bit with Ferris. That was odd. That was really weird. I was like, I don't know what's happening. It's this card game thing, but I'm like, is this an idol show? What's going on? She's up on the stage and all this weird stuff, and in that moment, Okabe was the most normal person in the room, which is like, probably never happened. And even he's like, is this a time-space distortion? What is happening? And again, you can really relate to him. I'm into the evil organization shit, but then when you show me that, I don't know what's going on. So, Ferris is like one of the most mysterious characters in the show to me. Because like Moeka, Suzuha, obviously more going on. Rukiko, probably not. Although I'm curious what his role will be in the grand scheme of things. Like, as of what he knows, I don't think he's like a time traveler or anything, you know? He'll get brought into it more, but I think, you know, he's just a normal shrine dude. But with Ferris, she's the only one where I'm not sure. Like, Suzuha, time traveler, obviously. Moeka, going against CERN in some way, probably. But with Ferris, I'm not sure. How much of her Chuny stuff is for fun? How much of it's real? Does she know more than she's letting on? Is she just a cat-made girl? I don't really know. Weird scene, though. But yeah, Okabe was smart. I don't know why she didn't make sure that he worded it differently, but he's just like, if I participate, you tell me everything you know. He didn't say if I win. And I was like, it took me a little bit during the episode to figure out that that's what happened. Like, as they were saying it, as he was saying, like, what he had just done, that was so simple that it took me a second to register it. I was like, oh yeah, I guess that is what he said. Wow, it was that simple. She just didn't pick up on his word choice. Well, alright. But that leads him to Rukiko, and they actually have the IBN 5100 there. It's a little good moment with Karisu where she doesn't know that he's a boy, and I thought Okabe would tell her, but for now, she still doesn't know. So I guess he's saving it for a future reveal that he can really revel in, and I don't know. But yeah, they have it, and they said that 10 years ago, the year that John Titor would have gone back in time, but now in this timeline didn't, somebody brought it there and said that in 10 years, some guy would need it. Hold on to it for then. So clearly somebody time traveled and gave it to them to give to Ocarine now. Might have been Ocarine himself doing that. We'll see. But yeah, that gives Rukiko more importance into the story. I don't know how much he'll have overall, but this is like the first big thing that's gone on with him. And with Suzuha, she's just in it a little bit. Still don't see Moeka again, just still more text conversations, but they do have the computer now, so I don't know if he'll tell her that, and when she'll get involved again. But yeah, Suzuha's just in it a little bit. It's cool with the little interactions with her and Mayuri, and that scene just foreshadows the card game a little bit, and also she calls herself a full-fledged warrior, and she's like, seriously, I'm a warrior. Like, that scene barely even registered with me, because it was already so obvious from the corn. Like, okay, yeah, she's a time traveler. And so when she says that, I'm just like not even batting an eye. I'm like, yeah, obviously. She's some kind of fucking time-traveling soldier person from the future. I know. Duh. Also, Mr. Braun, whichever, apparently has a daughter I don't believe we've met, so she's doing something somewhere. And a cool little moment for Mayuri, when she does this thing that she apparently does often, where she just kind of looks up at the sun and reaches up. And it shows her doing it at the grave of who I presume is her parents. I don't know if that's when she started doing it, like when they died. And it's kind of like a reaching up to them type thing. But that was a good moment. And between her and Ocarine, when she's basically saying, like, it doesn't matter if you can't see the stars, they're still there. So that was cool. Just some other small little moments, like Daru shaking his leg at his computer, which I do constantly. It was a great moment just because it's relatable, but also it conveys the situation, because presumably he's doing it because of the situation, because they're investigating CERN and that somebody or multiple people have died and that he can't figure out this code and everything. It's just a nice little detail to show what he's feeling. But also, I do that all the time. I was doing that while watching the episode, just because I can't sit still. But yeah, also the line where he was like, Daru is like the universe, continually expanding. I had heard that line before. I had heard that was a line in the show. But it's a really good one. I was glad to see it happen. That's a good line. I like that a lot. And just all the tiny little moments, like with the shirt with Ferris on it, and just, I really love the interactions. And while I wasn't totally sold on Okabe and Kurisu's interactions in episode 3, I am now. So that's just more great interactions we can have. Rukiko has had some more importance now. Ferris, curious. That was weird. They got the computer, so maybe we can see Moeka again. Because I don't know if we've actually seen her since episode 1, or if we've just seen her texts, I think. I'm glad Kurisu's into it. She's lab member number 4. We'll see how long it takes her to fully admit that time travel is happening. Where we go from here, I have no idea. Apparently it's going to get even better, but I already like it a lot. So, yeah. I'm excited. We've got the IBN. So now that he can figure out that code and you've got this. So I had been thinking before, like, somehow the parts of the IBN were somehow used in this microwave. Now that I think about that, that's kind of stupid. But it's just a thought that I had. I was like, I don't know. Whatever. Anything I can think of, I'm going to blurt it out. So, yeah. They're going to use it to try to figure out what's up with CERN. And I'm curious. See what they can find out. And where we're going to go from here. So, yeah. That was a really good episode. And I am very much looking forward to seeing more. So if there's anything you want to say about the episode, feel free in the comments below and we can talk about it some more. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, subscribe to the channel, and share the video around with other people you think might enjoy it too. And check out the Patreon for 1 week early videos. It all means a whole lot. Appreciate the support. Again, I'm in a new place now, trying to get it all situated, set up, organized, get this going as best as I can. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.